So here we are, another episode of Get Stronger with the champ of Beckenham, the coffee champ of Beckenham, High Rocks champ of Beckenham, Mr. Luke Young. How are we doing today, sir?
All good. How are you, my friend?
Outstanding but improving.
Good.
Now, again, it's a pleasure to sit down and talk with you. But for those who don't already know who you are, tell us a bit about yourself. Who's Luke?
I don't know, where do I start? So, basically, I suppose I'm someone that has a couple of businesses in Beckenham. I train a lot, hence why I know Kieran. I've done, that's it. But the reason I know Kieran is because we've done a bit of boxing training in the past. Not that I do it anymore, but now I'm more into running and sort of weight training, staying fit really. Nothing too spectacular.
Yeah. Well, again, I know you're very humble and modest about your approach there in terms of one of the leading coffee shops in Beckenham in terms of poetry.
You said it, not me.
Absolutely. But also in terms of fitness, I remember must be 2-3 years ago when your goal was to be able to run 5k in under 20 minutes.
Yeah.
And again, only 1% of men can even achieve that, and then you've ticked that off. But tell us, how did you get into fitness? How did that journey begin?
How did I get into fitness? So I think I've always been kind of, that's a good question. When I used to play football when I was younger, and then I think I stopped for a little while. I sort of got a job with my dad I started working weekends, whatever else. I didn't have time to be going football anymore. And then I think I realised it had a detrimental effect on my life, my mental health and everything from not doing any sports. I think I got back into weight training, sort of gave myself targets to try and get bigger, as you do everyone when they're like 15, 16, 17, they want to get bigger. Who knows why, just part of life. And then I think that wasn't doing it for me, so I needed something that was a bit more energetic, should we say. And that's when I started running. And then that was it really. Now I can't go a day without training because I just feel like it's played a big part in my mental health now.
Absolutely.
100%.
Completely agree. The mental health, as much the physical benefits are incredible, the mental benefits are,
I think it's underrated. Like a lot of people might be struggling with mental health issues or whatever else, but then they might be going out on weekends and not training. So I think it's about finding the balance in life, and I think I've found that after a few years of trying, basically. So yeah.
Absolutely. And tell us, how did you get onto the High Rocks journey, and how many High Rocks have you completed?
High Rocks is, how did I get into that? Throw me on the spot with these questions. Fuck.
There's no right or wrong.
How did I get into High Rocks? I can't remember.
Well, you saw someone else doing it, I fancy a bit of that. Because did you do doubles first? Because I remember.
No, I did single. Do you know what? No, my mate got me into it. My mate Jack. He just randomly signed up to one, and he was like, "I'm doing this. Do you want to give it a go?" At first, I was a bit hesitant because I've never really done anything like that. And obviously, I think at the time I was like 28, 29, and I thought, it's too old to get into anything new. He signed me up. We both trained together, and I thought I was reasonably fit. And then I got there, started doing it on the day, and got absolutely humbled. People were just sprinting past me, and I thought my time was still okay in the grand scheme of things, but people were getting 20, 30 minutes quicker than me, and I thought, what the fuck? And that kind of inspired me to start getting better at that. And I was like, right, now I'm going to start taking it more seriously. It's like running more, weight training more, and getting fitter, getting stronger.
And so what was that initial time, and what did you bring it down to?
I think my initial time was 180 or 116.
160.
116.
Okay, that's still impressive.
And then my next time was 112, and then I broke the 110, and then I think next time I got a 107. That's in singles. Yeah. And then doubles, I did it with Callum Buckler. And we got a 59 minutes in the doubles pros, which I was quite happy with. That was a lot of training, a lot of dedication.
Okay, incredible. So we're talking times of from coming just under, from starting at 117, which I kind of use this like a benchmark. One of my friends who's trying to get into IROX, and I was like, look, 140, under 140 is acceptable, under 120 is good, like, as in, give yourself a pat on the shoulder. Under an hour, you're a bit of a machine, and that's elite.
Under an hour, that's elite,
kind of elite
like
level,
you're
right?
pro. So
Pros, yeah.
That's mad. Under an hour is
100%.
silly.
Yeah, but
Outrageous.
again, so to be doing to go from like 170 to 107, that is like impressive. But like in that journey, like what part? Because I'd speak about goal setting in my books, which you've seen the 12 boxing principles of success, where I speak about goals. How were you able to kind of get yourself stronger to go from a time of, you said 112 down to, 117 down to 112 and 107? Yeah.
I suppose just realising how quick some of these people actually are. I think I realised that most of it is just running. So the more you run, the quicker you're going to get. And the elite people in this sport are running fucking like 14-minute 5K, something stupid like that.
Okay.
So, and they've still got muscle on them. So it just shows like the perspective of how thick you really got to be. Even people that are sort of getting pretty, what is seen as an average time, is still about 102, 103. They're running like 16-minute 5Ks. And you're like, right, I've got to get quicker.
Average time? But I know you mean average time amongst the elite.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like there's just levels to it. So yeah, I've got my 5K time down to as quick as it can be, and then started progressing, running further and further, then get my 10K time down, and then throwing in strength exercises, and yeah, just keep going, training every day. That's it, really. I think there's no like a secret to it. It's just consistency. I think that's the key to anything in life.
Love that. So yeah, consistency, working towards having goals for like your 5K, 10Ks, improving on your running whilst maintaining your strength.
Yeah, 100%.
I love that.
Which is hard to do because you're sort of putting in more, sort of running more, you're burning more calories, then you're trying to do strength training, you've got to give your body rest, you've got to be eating enough whilst trying to work, build businesses. It's tough, but you've got to do it.
Absolutely, someone's got to do it, and if it's in you to keep pushing, that is very impressive. And so, like with those, because obviously there's the 8 different stations. For those who don't know, aren't aware of HYROX. HYROX is based like interval-based training, where it's like 1Ks with 8 stations of different forms of training, from like ski erg, 1,000-meter row, sled pull, sled push, burpee pull jumps, farmers carry,
lunges
and wobbles. Yeah, so those are the 8. Out of those 8, which 2 would you say are probably like the easiest? Not easiest, but it's in where you're like, actually, I don't mind, I can do alright here. And which 2 are you like, okay, I've got to brace myself for?
Are we including running or? No.
The running's kind of the base level.
So
you kind of need
for
to have
me,
that.
I think the ski is pretty easy because it's the first one. Before you're at first, the first 5 minutes into it, you're like, oh, this is easy, this is alright. And then after the ski hits you, you're like, oh shit. So the ski, and then halfway through is the row, which is sort of feels quite light because you've just done the sled push and sled pull, which is silly weight, up to 200 kilos on the sled push. So yeah, row and ski, I'd say.
Okay, so those are easier ones.
Yeah.
And then what about the 2 harder ones? Which would you say?
Wobbles, 1,000,000%, like, without fail.
Is that the last one, right?
You're at the end of your race, you've got nothing left. Your heart rate has been like through the roof for over an hour, and then you've got to do that to finish off. I think that's the hardest, but then it's the one you get the most support on because everyone's gunning for you. And the second hardest, I believe, maybe like the sled push and sled pull. They're both rough, yeah.
And how heavy is that? 80? Is that 100 kg on it?
200.
200?
On the sled push, 200. On the sled pull, 150. That's like the pro weights. Then the normal weight is 150 on the sled push and 100 on the sled pull. Yeah.
So that's even incredible. That is super fit. So like, with all that energy required, you kind of mentioned a bit about calories, and I think that moves us nicely into kind of fueling the body for these races. So in terms of from a nutritional perspective, like what type of foods? Because I know you've got a great restaurant at used to be named as Poach, now called Junto. But yeah, tell us a bit more about like the nutrition and
So I go
fueling
through
the body.
my daily sort of eating habits.
Yeah, go on.
So I've got to be honest here.
Yeah.
So when Poach used to be Poach, I used to go in and then have 5 scrambled eggs on toast with halloumi and chili jam, and then I'd have like a little snack after that. Then go. Normally, if I'm sort of working, I'm really bad at meal prepping, so I just used to go to the cafe, get chicken, rice. That's normally from Tia's Cafe or Sales. And then I would have maybe a bowl of cereal 2 hours later before training, do all my training, then have dinner, like a nice healthy sort of whatever my girlfriend's cooking, maybe something from Gusto, salmon and rice. And then it'll get to the evening and I'll munch a packet of biscuits, a tub of ice cream, just to get the calories in and treat myself. So I'm very healthy up until 8 PM, and then after that it all goes a bit downhill. But you've got that balance in life, haven't you? So
100% about that balance there. And so again, like, I've always been a fan of. Well, my favourite used to be the. Was it the sweet corn fritters
Red
with
hot
the
chili
red
eggs.
hot chili eggs?
Yeah,
That's the one. That used to be a fan favourite. So RIP to those. I'm a bit sad that's gone off the menu. But I do like the new addition, the bagels. One of the things I like to compliment about them is how full they are. So it's in like premium bagels, so you know what you're getting, but it's in like you can see the quality in which you're paying for. So what kind of inspired you to kind of make that shift and launch Beckham's first bagel shop?
So that's exactly why, basically, what you just said there. We wanted to be Beckham's first bagel shop. When we first opened Post 8 years ago, we was probably one of the first to do brunch in the style that we did it, like Australian sort of themed brunch. And then slowly more and more places sort of started doing a similar thing, and whether they got inspiration from us or not, who knows. And then more and more places open. These were newer places, maybe bigger spaces. They've spent more on the decor, and then you're just trying to compete with other businesses when now it's a diluted market. So it's like, what's the point of carry on doing this? Let's completely change avenues. Let's do something that no one else is doing. So me and my girlfriend went to New York like 2 years ago, and we basically got a load of inspiration. Come back, and I told everyone, I was like, I'm changing, I'm going down a different route. Everyone was like, no, I don't think you should. Poach is poached. I listened to them for like a few months, and then I was like, I had this gut feeling. I was like, no, I need to go and do it. Did it, and it's been absolutely phenomenal. Been so busy, and it's absolutely hit off. So yeah, I'm glad I made the change. So I'm just not going to listen to people going forward. I'm going to listen to myself.
Absolutely,
trust your gut.
That's it. You know, there's an old saying, you know, like a wise man, he takes counsel from others, but really listens to his own heart and gut.
I think so. Not all the time. Like sometimes you've got to take inspiration from others, but yeah, only at the end of the day, when I've got people to pay and whatever else, and if they're taken on the side they need to be because we've got a diluted market, we've got to do something to change it, and that's it. That's what we did.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
And I like that as well. Like, kind of speak on that idea of being able to shift and pivot, because obviously, as you said, like, did a bit of boxing, tried it. Some people can maybe say, oh, I'll never give that a go because they're not in that stage to pivot.
Yeah.
Then again, you then made a pivot towards the high rocks and training towards that. And obviously, that's kind of from a fitness perspective, being able to pivot there. But then from a business perspective, also being able to pivot and adjust.
Yeah, I think that's so important. You've got to adjust with the times. I'm not saying you've got to follow trends, but trends do naturally change. Like, over the course of years, people might start eating healthier, they might start having different values. People's decisions sort of changed. Like 10 years ago, no one would really go to the gym and socialise like they do now. Now you've got like the aspects of David Lloyd where people meet up on a Saturday morning, play paddle, and then chill after. People used to just meet up and go to the pub. Things change. Like alcohol becoming less important in society. So that's just one example. But yeah, you just got to keep changing, go with like what's the modern way of doing things. And yeah, don't be afraid of change, because change is usually a good thing, I'd say. Yeah,
absolutely.
You've got to keep, what's the word for it? You've got to keep, what's the word for improving?
Word for improving.
Not business improving.
Optimizing?
No. business developing, yes. Business developing. There's another word for it, but I can't remember what it is, to be honest with you.
100%. And so now, like, what I'd like to say is, we've got lots of listeners out here who are inspired, want to get stronger physically, also probably want to improve on their business as well, put their business in a stronger position. So, like, what pieces of advice, maybe 2 or 3 pieces of advice would you give to someone? First, let's start with the physical, in terms of they want to improve themselves, physically, perhaps, want to get more chiseled abs or run faster, get stronger, lift heavier. Whatever that goal may be, what 2 or 3 pieces of advice would you give to someone who wants to improve on their, let's say, their high rocks time? Because that's a space where I'd say you're an expert in.
So, high rock, that's not really my main thing. Running, I suppose I'm better at. But yeah, I would say consistency over absolutely everything, and think of long term rather than short term. Everyone wants everything here and now, and life doesn't work like that. You've got to be prepared to put the graft in for a long while before you see the results. So think of it more as a lifestyle change rather than just a temporary change, and think of all the benefits that changing certain areas in your life will sort of bring across improvements to your other sort of side of life as well. So say for example, I didn't focus on high rocks because I loved high rocks. I did that because that form of training keeps me busy, stops me going out, and then my business improves also. Because your head's focused, when you're feeding your body with the right things, when you're doing the right things, your whole life starts to improve. So, and it stops you going out and sort of drinking that all the time. So I think life's all about balance, as I mentioned a few times. So not to say you can't go out, but if you limit yourself to once every, say, 2-3 weeks, or once every month, or during the summer you might go out a few times, in the winter lock in and get the work done. So keep you focused and motivated.
Love that. So consistency, number one. What other tips would you give to that person who's looking for that transformation?
Just get going. Like, don't think making the start's the biggest thing, I think. If you're sort of thinking about it, the longer you think about it, the harder it is to make the start. So just make the start and then do the small steps to keep doing it, basically.
Would you say that applies to even the daily training? And the reason I say that is because I was watching a video the other day and they were talking about, I think it was like an old Kenyan proverb, and obviously Kenya have got some solid runners over there, and what they were talking about is their goal is, they said the hardest thing, but what they always just tell themselves is just do the first 5 minutes, because it's almost once you're in it,
your mind changes.
It's like sometimes it's like we can kind of make all the reasons why not to do it, but if you just tell yourself, look, I'm just going to go in and do 5 minutes. Once you've done that 5, before you know it, you probably run the 30, 25, whatever distance you kind of set out to do. But it's that initial part.
Agreed. And then, so like, you might start, I don't know, say you're training in the afternoon and then it gets late and you're like, oh, actually I need to get home and cook dinner or whatever else. Just get the training done, because like you said, that first 5 minutes, after that you're like, okay, I'll crack on and get it done. And you're going to feel so much better for the whole evening. You're also going to be motivated to go the next day, and your life just gradually improves by keep making these small changes. I think that one small choice of not doing something can have such a negative impact on other areas in your life. So yeah, and then you never regret a training session ever. Like, do it, let's get into it. Then you might.
But consistency and just get started. Love that. And in terms of like business, now what you just said there definitely sounds like it could be used to apply to a business formula as well, in terms of be consistent, get started. But perhaps what other maybe more strategic or things that someone can implement and just kind of take on board from this and say, hey, do you know what, the business has been maybe a little stagnant or hasn't been creating as much momentum. Similar to you, they're maybe in a space where before they were the one standing out, now these copycats have come on and kind of like, you know what I mean, taking off their shine a bit, and they want to do something to give them a new.
Do you know what? I think getting in front of a camera changed kind of my whole life and changed my whole business. To be honest, I never really used to get in front of a camera. I never used to sort of put my face behind my business. Since I've done that, I've brought a lot more attention to my business. Turnovers up, we're doing better, marketing's better, but I think the main, if anyone sort of needs any business advice, depending on what market or industry you're in, I would say marketing's the most important thing. Drop everything else, delegate everything else out to other sort of, whether it's employees or outsourcing it, and concentrate on marketing. That's the most important thing. If you can bring attention to your business, you're going to get more customers. Yeah, it's going to increase your turnover, it's going to make a better business.
So marketing, really getting in front of the camera, because that kind of is a way to kind of build your brand and market what you're doing, your story. And the beauty is these days, the access is there. If you've got a mobile phone and you've got internet service, i.e. like internet, you can now film yourself, put it on for thousands, if not millions of people to see what you're doing.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard to sort of get started. Again, it's like, this is the sort of thing that we were saying earlier. It's hard to get started and sort of, but once you are started, then you see gradual improvements. And the first time you get in front of the camera or the first video you do is going to be shit, realistically, and it just slowly improves, and that's the way it is. But yeah, and then read books and research and do it that way. Improve on yourself.
Any books you would recommend? Maybe.
Oh, you're the author. You got.
Well, hey, you know what? We do have the 12 boxing principles of success. If you are looking to gain more consistency, principle 6, discipline. Is it 5, hard work and dedication? Well, of course, without this book being included. Obviously, thank you as well. I know you are a reader and supporter of the 12 boxing principles. Did you have a chance to flick through it, and what did you take?
Not yet.
Not yet.
No,
okay.
I'm not a really big reader myself, which I need to get better on. But yeah, I read once a year when I'm on holiday. But
okay, well, your holiday just comes to maybe for next year summer.
Yeah, I will read it.
What we'll do is, whilst we're here, there's 12 principles I actually talk about in my book. Everything from faith, vision, teamwork, focus, hard work, dedication, discipline, the will to win, resilience, confidence, respect, humility, and legacy. So out of those 12 principles, which ones stand out and have helped you in terms of through the battles on the High Rocks arena and just the battles of business?
Well, it's got to be all of them, really, isn't it? Yeah. Well, I suppose what stand out right now: hard work and dedication, focus, teamwork, but teamwork with the right people, so getting the right people in the right positions, discipline, the will to win, not as important, I won't say. Resilience is a big one, because you get a lot of knockbacks. Confidence gets built through hard work and dedication. I never used to be that confident. You get more confident. The more discipline your life gets, the more confident you get, because you stop caring about what other people think or caring about anyone else apart from yourself, and you're just like, okay, I'm doing what I'm doing, and that's it.
Yeah.
Respect. Yeah, I'd say that's it, really.
Love that. Incredible. And so again, thank you so much for your time today. That's it. Oh, now that is a handshake and a half. So that transition moves us smoothly onto the grip strength challenge. Now, I'm not sure if you've seen this one before. There's correlation between grip strength and just general as a health indicator. How it works, you just grab it, give it a squeeze, gives you a number. There's no right or wrong. There we just got 60.8.
So I've got to beat you now, have I?
I'd say it's you versus you. If you can beat me, that would be impressive. I'd say last time you did this, I think we got I'm 51 or 52.
No, don't help me like that.
Okay, well, we'll see how we do today. But 43 is the men's average, so you're very clear from there.
Okay.
3, 2, 1, and squeeze. 3, 2, 1, and relax.
Oh, shit.
53.1, that's an improvement from last time. And that's you versus you. I get it though, I appreciate it. You're looking at me, wait a second, that's what you just did. But anyway, incredible work. Thank you very much for your time. And for those who want to follow you and support your journey, where's the best place to follow you online?
I don't post as much as I used to, but Luke.Godfrey _post is my Instagram. And then all my businesses will be tagged in there. But yeah.
Perfect. And just out of interest, how did I did see online where you shared the video, but talk to us again about the evolution of the name Junto.
Junto, so basically, getting back onto when you asked me earlier about books I read, I read a book called Building a Story Brand, and that basically helps me. It's basically in the forefront of any market. You should be putting the customer first, and that's where the name Junto comes from. Because Junto means to gather for a common purpose in Spanish. So we've tried to create a space where people can come and gather, enjoy themselves, have a coffee, have a catch up, go for a cycle, go for a run, come back and sort of gather, enjoy their time. That's it, yeah.
Love that. And I love that you're creating that community, that space where people can gather for a common circle, especially in a big city like London. It can sometimes feel even more lonely because everybody's just on the go. For anyone who is facing battles out there and perhaps needs the extra bit of motivation, inspiration and empowerment, what words of wisdom could you kind of share to help that person grow through their go through at the moment?
Words of wisdom. It's not so much words of wisdom, but what's helped me through. Again, it goes back to exercise. I think exercise is a thing that should be prescribed by any doctor. To be honest with you, get out there, do. The best advice I ever got was do 20 minutes of hard exercise every day, and your life will guarantee to be improved within a couple of weeks. And that's fact. It's exercise puts the good chemicals into your brain, and you need these chemicals to survive and thrive. So that's it. That's it. I think it's underrated.
So there we go. So if you want to boost the dopamine, of endorphins, of serotonin, and what's the last one? I was trying to sound smarter than I missed the last one. So endorphins is kind of like that rush that you get from the training. Dopamine hit is more of like when you kind of get it's like the happy high.
Yeah.
Serotonin is what you get like from that sense of achievement or hugs, etc. And then the last one we'll come back to eventually. But happy chemicals, that's what you get. Exercise, let it be prescribed. Thanks again, Luke, for your time. It's been a pleasure as always. And again, make sure to check out Junto, check out the profile, and definitely got to try out the bagels.
That's it.
Stay blessed.